Cek. Let's go. Mari kita mulai perjalanan kita untuk melakukan Archon Quest. Selamat datang bagi yang melihat secara live maupun yang datang secara offline atau online. Seperti judul, hari ini gue akan melakukan Archon Quest Wawan Wanderer. Ya, apalah itu. Kayaknya gue nge-skip lumayan banyak Archon Quest. Ada 2 Archon Quest yang belum gue ngejalanin, makanya ya nyicil ya lah. Nyicil kita. Oke. Cek suara. Oke, aman. Bentar, gue mau share dulu. Semoga gak nge-lag. Let's go. Sebelum melakukan Archon Quest, tentu saja saya mau melakukan daily rutin dulu. Bermain daily.
You want to use my hat as an umbrella? The audacity to even make that request. Squall and Fury.
Anjir, kebal, cok. Berak. Sugiwananda. Lucu sekali Nahida ya. Di atas anjir. Clarin Cia, hello juga. Makasih udah mampir ya Cia. Welcome to my stream yang seadanya lah ya. Hari ini agenda kita cuma chilling, main story yang ada di Genshin Impact. Jadi enjoy watching. Oh ya, kalau ada kurang dari segi sound atau settingan bilang aja ya, soalnya aku nggak tahu nih kalau suaraku clear atau gimana. Oke. Ini enaknya pakai BGM gak sih ya? Aduh. Niatnya mau pakai BGM tapi nggak usah lah.
Solidify.
I see everything. The Temple of Wisdom.
Behold.
Bow your head. Quit following me.
Order guide you.
Aku nggak ngerti game, ya makanya main biar tahu ya. Ini kalau saking populernya nih game, kalau ke event cosplay itu pasti ada tuh yang selalu cosplay Genshin Impact. Nah, kan tinggal pilih husbu aja di sini. Tinggal obral, husbunya yang mana? Gitu. Waifunya juga banyak, lucu-lucu semua.
Make yourselves at home.
Ya kan?
Mind the deluge.
Ini flexing. Let's go. Di Genshin juga story-nya menarik-menarik sih. Bagus banget. Ada cutscene-cutscene yang wah beneran kece banget dah.
The wind rises.
Behold.
Quit following me.
Oke. Satu laginya di mana ya? Oh, di sini. Woi, ini woi. Oke, nice.
Squall and fury. The wind rises.
Dia bukan ini anjir, bukan susternya. Kita masuk gereja. Wah, jangan lupa berdoa ya guys ya. Malah login server lain anjir. Terima kasih Biarawati Victoria.
Too slow.
Masya Allah, welcome to my stream. Masya Allah.
Following me.
Kita login, belok dulu.
Add Ash. Thank
Daily
you.
udah kelar, let's go. Apakah bisa gacha? Ah, belum bisa. PT berapa ya gua? $30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Wih, 61, PT 61, mengerikan. Sebaiknya aku tabung saja uang ini. PT 61 nih bos, senggol dong. Kaca tipis-tipis oke sih, let's go nggak sih? Sampai PT 70 deh. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Harus pakai BGM sih kayak biar nggak krik anjim. Mana BGM BGM di mana kau BGM? Nah ini lah. Oke, apakah segini cukup?
Relax. There's no such thing as pure freedom in this world. Even the wind cannot blow on forever.
Oke.
Quit following me. Quit following me. Too slow.
Main Fungus Mechanicus, let's go paman. Aduh, rekomendasinya tadi art ya, gue bawa artnya. Astagfirullah. Oh ini deh. Kayak heal. Nice. Heal. Nice. Woi, serang ini dulu lah. Let's go. Yang api nyerang air aja. Nice. Let's go. Waduh, waduh, waduh. Petir gua. Oke, berhasil. Let's go. Ta 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 ta. Lanjut, lanjut, lanjut. Kelarin semua misinya dulu, baru kita bermain Archon Quest guys ya. Pengaturan party, rekomendasinya ini healer pas dibawa. Oh, bawa yang batu atau yang angin ya? Oh, petir. Let's go. Habis kelar, habis belum, nanti. Siap, makasih Rin udah ngingetin Rin. Baru 11, lantai 11, lantai 10. Apa nih, bisa diambil kah? Oh, bisa diambil. Hil. Nice. Sikat nggak sih? Nice. Apakah sudah bisa gacha hari ini? Mari kita pulangkan Tante Shenhe. Let's go. Aduh, kurang berak anjir. Kurang. Baru 145. Oh, belum diklaim ya. Sorry. Let's go. Membadut mah membadut aja ya gak? Iya gak ya? Aduh, ya kalah. Ya kali dapat enggak Mika lah. Mika ini mah fix. Oke, Mayan. PT tambahan, let's go. Beli lagi. Makin deket sama PT anjir. Ah, biru. Ah, berak. Oke, ada 10 ya. Wawanku sudah level 10 ya guys ya. Wawan mana lu Wawan? Anjay. Mantap, let's go.
You think I've got a sharp tongue?
Tidak ada Primogems di kotak surat.
Like it is. If someone can't handle it, Maybe that's their.
Oke, langsung kita misi. Daripada kelamaan ya nanti ya guys ya. Oh, bagian 3, chapter 3 bagian. Oh, ini dulu ya. Oh iya, ini dulu. Let's go. Kok penasaran nih Archon questnya ngapain aja ini. Semoga tidak mengecewakan Archon questnya. Worth untuk ditunggu sambil nunggu ngabuburit juga. Let's go. Kita bicara dengan 2 pelajar di tepi jalan.
Alright, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your.
Aduh, voice-nya masih Inggris.
I have a feeling that the
Oh
missing
my
kabuki
God.
mono will end up being the main focus of this paper.
Baiklah, aku bakalan bergegas dengan kritik tekstual dari
If only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about her, this seems like the kind of thing she'd know about.
Akaba, baik Akaba.
Oh, you're the traveler.
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
No, of course I believe you.
Aduh, nggak enak banget anjir pakai bahasa Inggris.
Exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started.
So what? For the love of. Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kind of lacking.
Iya, feels-nya kurang kalau Inggris iya. Demi apa sih kamu?
Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about Tatarasuna?
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because we heard you talking.
I see. My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatarasuna's past. But who'd have thought that...
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatarasuna.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive for a first read?
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's latest
Apa sih gak jelas anjir?
This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatarasuna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi, but in the
Malah
end,
ngobrolin
he threw
Azuma
it into
gitu
a
loh.
fire to destroy it and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Well, no one knows.
Dan membunuh pelayannya ke sana.
Apart from the sword maker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a kabuki mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger. Someone
Kok Inazuma gini
Akaba's
nyambungnya?
teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This kabuki mono lived in Tatarasuna for a while before disappearing without a trace. And shortly afterwards, as Akaba mentioned, things got pretty ugly.
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder happens?
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think of if they knew anything about what happened back then. And wow, did I get lucky!
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the government records office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals did, in fact, live in even back then. Tatarasuna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa. Curiously enough...
Wait, so there are 2 missing people in this story now?
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard of the great swordsmith clans of Inazuma?
Kan Wawan dari Inazuma. Iya juga ya, baru nyambung, baru nggak anjir. Lah iya ya. Aduh.
Oh, the swordsmith?
Oh, para ahli pedang.
Like Asian art and so on?
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan.
Oh,
Practitioners of Ishin art.
Niwa ini adalah kerabat jauh dari klan Kaidahara.
Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of everything else going on around that time, it makes you wonder whether it's...
The Kaidahara?
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail of all.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I
Cir,
forget?
VN-nya agak,
Mind,
aduh.
ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or maybe you won't believe your ears. I wouldn't blame you, of course, because in all my years as a writer, this is by far the most.
Get to the point.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabuki Mono was not a human, but a puppet.
Kabukimono.
Puppet?
Boneka Shogun yang dibuat Archon.
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you...
No. Wyman just meant,
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky events are to be expected. And that's exactly what my book is about. Please, take a look.
Berak
And
baca-baca.
please read my...
Gila suruh baca lo.
was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think essays should be grounded in facts. I don't think explaining everything away with mysterious... Oh! How about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political
Apa sih banyak
intrigue?
bahasa yang nggak tahu narasi
I could
Sawada.
put a turf war between rival factions at the center of the whole series of events.
wait, you're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guess.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever information we have now is all that there is to know. This is as much detail as you're ever going to get. Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting, what hope would we ever have of finding out the truth?
Good point. Okay, back to the drawing board, I guess. Give me some time. I need to find a new angle on this.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now.
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please do let me know.
Hey, so that thing they were talking about, okay, then even if we did know something about it, after all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super confidential, isn't it? If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees in the forest.
Anjir lewat.
Did you see that? He literally just went by over there. It looked like the volunteer. No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
Kok bisa lepas ya anjir. Bentar, subsnya sangat tidak enak ini. Ya ampun, kenapa Inggris? Jepang, let's go. Ya ampun. Kudu ditungguin.
Squall and Fury.
Wawan, di mana kau Wawan?
Quit following me.
Quick, following me. Wah, si Nahida.
Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Nahida, bad news. We just saw the balladeer strolling around in public. Did he escape or...
Sure enough.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surastana? I know you must have a lot of questions. It was my idea to set the balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me. A deal?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumero would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was...
GR.
Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just...
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us! As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you. Considering you even struck...
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. Plus, he's a former harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui play. Wait a second. Former? You mean he's not a harbinger anymore? I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser.
Seorang pecundang.
Sometimes
Ngomongnya
it's you
kayak
using them,
sampah.
other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui. And also, so as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm not worth quite what I used to. Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why...
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends, so I guess you'll be...
Yeah, obviously! Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. We still have time. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right, then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch. Nahida, are you... Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit. Yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul. Oh, yeah. Actually,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the whole reason we came to see you today. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the Balladeer used to be what, he was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information, and should be able to find it more quickly. Exactly! Or what if... Paimon just doesn't trust him! He's treated us as enemies every time we've run into him! I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated by which side you're on. How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. A feeling of being all alone in the dark. As Sumeru's deity,
It is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. But as someone who counts you, if this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it. It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than earned it.
Paimon's still worried about this idea. Is there anything we can do to help?
I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he carried, even though he only has a fraction of his full power left. That's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. If you could accompany, of course I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside. Great. Prepare yourselves.
Prepare yourself. Let's go. Aduh, nunggu bukber sambil minum enak ini kayaknya. Sambil ngemil dulu ah.
It looks pretty different here compared to last time.
Wih, tiba-tiba udah masuk ini.
Colors are gentler. Guess that must be because
Look at that.
Look at that.
You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter Irminsul ahead of...
Shut your beak, jailbird. No way a prisoner gets to be so smug.
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right
Minum
now,
kopi Mas. Oke, siap.
so maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Terus saat ini aku kan sedang masa pembebasan bersyarat sementara. Jadi mungkin kamu harus agak menahan sedikit.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences. I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides. But it is essential that you remain calm after entry.
Fine. Let's call it truce.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are going to be traveling together after all. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that.
if there are no further objections, I suggest we... Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's a...
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection.
Wow.
Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him.
Let's catch up with him. Wow.
Ooh. Paimon's never seen anything like this.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Tevat. Every bit of pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted.
Let's go.
Anjir persennya anjay.
Don't go running off.
Hey, so say we did go. What are you?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got locked. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to stick close to me.
Anjay. Di carry Bang Wawan. Let's go, indah sekali pemandangannya, men.
Sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
Oh. Keren bet dah Mas Wawan.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little?
Let's go, kita masuk. Saya penasaran.
We're here.
What a huge...
Lesser Lord Kuth,
Good, you made it.
ready when you...
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents.
The Balladeer's actually doing what Nahida tells him.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all,
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the...
Traveler, Paimon. But you... Yes, I've also invited Paimon to...
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other in our heads?
That's part of it. Plus,
Paimon's never tried this before. This is great. So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladeer's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he...
as I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as days. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers.
Jir, kenapa MC tidak ada suaranya?
Well done. Smart. So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the...
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay.
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so on, yes. I know about all of that.
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatara Suna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we...
Oh? How interesting.
So the Gesei got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatara Suna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation.
Baka juga nih Wawan ya. Halo guys, hello juga Cia, welcome back. Baka juga nih si Wawan ini.
Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So, have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait, how did you know about that? Didn't they...
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something I can manage.
Game apa ini? Ini game Genshin Impact ya. Game Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact. Masih di game yang sama ya, sesuai judul stream Genshin Impact. Aku tidak tertarik untuk membuat misteri, lebih banyak untuk diriku sendiri dan ngobrol ram.
Huh?
Wih, ada ternyata.
This light. It looks similar to those saplings.
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with us.
Shh. Just wait.
Oh, cerita baru kah? Let's go.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatara Suna's furnace, after all.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so?
Whoa!
Wah, masuk ke story-nya. Betul juga ternyata.
I have been in Tatara Suna for some time now.
Anjir, karakter baru anjir.
As has Mikoshi Nagamasa. And indeed, everyone else. Under your leadership, Tatara Suna
Chill
is
deh,
a
anjir.
welcoming place. Like a giant village. People are gainful employed.
Chill deh
Their
versi
lives have
penduduk
purpose.
desa anjir.
They are motivated. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatara Suna, it was originally established as a means of safely disposing crystal marrow.
Ini live-nya pakai laptop atau HP? Jelas pakai laptop ya. Pakai laptop. Leluhurnya Kazuha itu. Oh iya. Oh iya, pewaris ininya ya. Tapi mirip Chill dia.
The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished.
Maaf aku gaptek, nggak apa-apa. Kalau gaptek itu makanya nanya biar nggak gaptek. Bagus.
Unknown, all passing on their legacy.
Nah, Genshin tuh game berat banget ya, apalagi nge-live-in game ini, waduh. Butuh spek yang nggak ada di HP kayaknya. Tapi bisa sih lewat HP.
Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade. That is why you accepted the proposal brought to you by myself and Akame.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized our forging process like this on his own. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me, and now every piece of ore here is smelted using the new technique. Even now, you remain one of Tatara Suna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir, who are truly responsible for the changes in our manufacturing and forging methods.
Minimal laptop RAM berapa giga kalau buat Genshin Impact? Kalau RAM, kalau cari specification gitu di web banyak sih, searching aja. Spesifikasi bermain Genshin Impact tuh, di situ udah dijelasin tuh RAM-nya minimal berapa. Aku kurang tahu sih untuk spek minimalnya seberapa gitu.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma. And it has been my great honor to befriend you all.
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My good sir, what do you mean?
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want to speculate. I didn't want to believe. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but none of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the golden feather to Naruto, but that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does.
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr. Mikoshi is more cautious than I. He does things by the book.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torachiyo.
Oke, makasih infonya. Sama-sama Cia.
If he truly seeks to redeem his family's honor, an abundance of caution is well advised.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine.
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly,
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you? What are you still doing here?
judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust me.
Drop the act. We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatarasuna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment.
Wah, dibunuh kah? Oh my gosh.
A moment like this, where you finish talking and I start
You.
Oh no.
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But it's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias. And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek in Tatarasuna.
Did you... If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace. So you're really going to destroy this place? Is that it?
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human. You're just missing a heart.
Kalian udah main Genshin Impact berapa lama? Dari 2020 ya. 2020 berarti 2 tahunan, gila. Lama banget ya, udah sevuh. Ampun sevuh. Dari Genshin rilis langsung download. True.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But this makes no sense.
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui Harbinger.
Ah, the doctor.
The Doctor.
Oh, dokter.
Fatui? Who? What do you want?
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your nation.
Oh my gosh. Dottore.
Gave us your cursed technology? Just to let loose the evil energy from the crystal marrow?
Di mana ada keributan di situ pasti ada Fatui. Fatui lagi.
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe and keeping the truth from the outside world. However, I did not make it with you in mind.
Sangat GG sekali ya dong, kita GG. Visual Genshin wibu banget, jadi tertarik betul loh. Grafiknya itu loh bersih banget. Nanti ini belum cutscene-nya ya. Kalau Cia mau nungguin sampai cutscene-nya, gila keren banget itu. Dan sebenarnya ini yang buat aku senang sama Genshin juga selain karakternya, desainnya juga sama seiyunya, voice overnya ini gila. Voice over yang Jepangnya itu gila. VA terkenal semua, VA di anime-anime itu. Seriusan. Cuma ini lupa belum download VA Jepangnya, jadi Inggris gini.
It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent heart is placed into an unsuspecting puppet. Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else instead.
If you give him my heart, tell him that both Naga... He has nothing to prove to anyone. Because not everyone...
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Then out of respect for you, I shall redefine myself. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. You simply lost to something more powerful than you could ever hope to defeat. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? Mr. Niwa? Already
Anjir.
dead.
Anjir. Kejam sekali anjir. The hell. Lu sudah mati ya? Anjir.
Jester, I have completed the task you gave me.
Jester? Oh.
Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was.
What fun it was. Iya.
I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade.
Oh, ini si Baladir.
Dottore. Dottore. Good. Good.
Oh my gosh.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine? But why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit.
Maybe so. But it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the... You know very well what that means. Even...
Wah, gila ada dokter sih.
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad. Paimon doesn't want to be anywhere near him right now.
Oke, yuk kita ke sana dulu saja.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Kalian ada rekomend game yang wibu banget gak selain Genshin? Honkai Impact. Masih satu perusahaan anjir. Honkai itu keren banget, serius.
I'm still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it, but why has that gotten him so worked up?
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the Kabuki Mono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, it was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the balladeer became the main test subject. After the events you just saw in that memory, The doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace, and the load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion, and the mechanic answered. Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for. The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing. But he thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow, the balladeer threw the heart to the ground.
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim? That's terrible.
Dikhianati dan ditinggalkan oleh seorang teman dekat pasti akan menimbulkan kebencian yang besar. Sekarang kita tahu apa yang ada di balik keputusannya untuk membalas dendam pada Raiden Gokaden.
Yes. Only if he understands this can...
Oke, tunggu beberapa
You
saat.
brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Oh my gosh.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend. It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff with...
That's why we're here.
Let's go. Cutscene.
But
Oh, belum.
unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted
yeah.
as part of Teyvat.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end,
Ayo bagi informasimu.
other info that might
Beladir.
interest you.
Let's
The
go.
reason why there are records about your brother in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was his first destination when he arrived in this world.
Oke.
Plus, he only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
Dia datang ke dunia ini karena langit merespon panggilan.
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your brother for a time. I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this. Did you get all that?
Yes.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Very valuable. Di Genshin ada Astolfo tidak. Wah, ada di sini macam-macam ras dan suku di sini ada. Ada yang Fury, ada yang Shota, ada yang MILF, ada yang wah semuanya. Makanya Genshin ini tempat farming ini ya. Tempat farming waifu dan husbando di sini banyak kami menyediakan ya. Makanya gamenya itu wibu banget. Gak heran kalau semua cosplayer itu kalau ke event cosplay atau apa sekarang pasti ada Genshin guaranteed-nya.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I shared a secret with you. and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me.
Oh,
Give
yes.
me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside?
Mau cuci otak ya.
No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past?
To change the past.
Done.
Huh? What the?
Nothing. I was just thanking her for helping me. So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again.
Oh.
From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono
Oh.
exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out like the pests they are. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all.
Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared.
Cutscene. Weh, cutscene nih. Belum ya? Let's go.
Oh no.
Oh, belum anjir.
Oh, can you hear me?
Nihida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just...
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities?
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault. We were...
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here. Even though we're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon...
Oke, kita keluar dari Irminsul. Ini bocah ngobrol apaan dari tadi anjir? Ngobrolin Astolfo dong. Kenapa teman-teman saya di sini yang suka anime pada freak ya Tuhan? Teman-teman wibu memang banyak yang freak ya.
We're out. And we're at...
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need.
An emergency? How bad is it?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances, it won't lead to a disaster.
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened.
Critter Lord Truka Devata gak usah disebut
He wants to change the past?
Game ini banyak storytellingnya kah? Iya betul. Ini emang base-nya ini game-game story ya. Jadi ada story-nya dan story itu emang bagus banget sih gila. Jadi setiap bulan akan ada update buat story-nya. Jadi nggak pernah habis.
Right! You can't just rewrite history. All that stuff happened already in real life. It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it. So, why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about... Paimon's so confused. Huh? Ah!
Maaf mengotori komen. Santai aja. Justru di YouTube ini sepi banget, jadi malah berasa rame kalau kalian pada komen ya. Jadi santai saja di sini ya. Genshin bejibun storynya mantep, storytellingnya betul. Ini Aki bingung mau baca komen. Iya, ini lagi fokus ini juga. Walah, baru tahu. Aku manggilnya apa nih? Rangga aja kah? Kalau ini aku lebih enak dipanggil Aki sih. Aki aja. Coba tonton aja di YouTube cutscene Genshin, grafiknya GG parah. Iya, betul. Aku sudah biasa terhadap keprikan teman-teman.
Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but trouble ever since we met. There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? Otherwise, won't everyone who's connected to him be affected too?
Banyak orang di Inazuma yang akan terkena imbasnya. Sukar dibayangkan apa yang semua orang yang ada dikaitan dengan Raiden Kokiden juga akan Kazuhaya kok akan ikut menghilang, ha?
Nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But so how about we list all right. Paimon will start. First dish. Munstad grilled fish. Oh, and chicken mushroom skewers. Tea break pancakes, cream stew, sauteed matsutake.
Satay Matsutake.
Korean chili chicken, almond tofu, satisfying salad. Also Adeptus Temptation, golden shrimp balls, triple layered consomme, lotus seed and bird egg soup, and
Wah, tahu-tahu udah pagi.
what do we? Paimon was talking? Huh? Paimon? Is that a food?
Oh my gosh. Dia sudah lupa siapa itu Beledir. Oh my god. Oh no. Waduh, cuma Tabibito yang tahu. Oh my gosh.
What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon? So, the Balladeer. Is that someone's name? Could
Oh my god.
Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay?
Oh, balik ke Inazuma ternyata. Adalah benar Wibu, jaya. Solid. Kita kembali ke Inazuma ya. Mapnya segede ini. Oke. Aku mau ngintroduce karakter Genshin nih ya. Banyak sekali nih. Tinggal pilih waifu Usbandomu yang gimana. Loli ada, yang ireng juga ada. Yang semi-semi hewani juga ada. Apa ya semi hewani ini? Ya intinya banyaklah karakternya lah. Yang mirip Astolfo mana emang ada? Maybe ini karena warnanya pink. Dan dia juga kucing tapi dia cewek ya. Dia pembuat ini peracik miras dia ya, kecil-kecil gini, peracik miras latar belakangnya. Let's go. Kita ke Inazuma. Genshin berat gak ceritanya? Wah, kalau mau cari yang bener-bener berat tuh di Honkai ya. Itu berat banget tuh Honkai. Kalau Genshin gak terlalu berat sih. Tapi kalau mau cerita yang berat, yang sedih-sedih, Yang main feeling banget Honkai Impact. Ceritanya beneran game pertama yang bisa buat aku nangis tuh Honkai Impact sih, serius itu. Ah!
Squall and Fury.
We made it to Amanoma Smithy.
Ah, it's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. Oh. Now there's a question I want. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. Aminoma,
Futsuyishin, Hyakume,
Hyakume,
dan
and
Senju.
Senju. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans was first taught to them personally by the almighty Shogun. Over time, the 5 branches diverged from one another. Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline, and for a long time,
Oh,
unfortunately, Yahahahaha recently returned to
Kedara Kazuha.
and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. If my memory serves me right, you yourself were present when he forged the Ishin blade.
Anjir, kriset anjir.
Paimon remembers that now. We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then too.
That, in fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, I knew of those great clans' demise, but never the cop. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokuden, it was right that there is no harm in telling you, but I must warn you. It is a dark and sorrowful tale.
Nice, karena terlalu berat kak. Iya, berat banget ceritanya. Kayak cerita pengorbanan gitulah. Itu berat lah ya.
The Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage.
Honkai beratnya di hubungan antara karakternya kuat banget, betul. Aku live dulu ya guys ya, mau ngecas. Makasih Cia udah mampir, udah sempatin waktunya untuk nonton stream ini. Makasih juga kuotanya rela disedot untuk melihat stream ini. Thank you.
Vengeful?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. One brave swordsmith heard the commotion, and Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day. And overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa, knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives. Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The furnace quickly stabilized, but the smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphaned son was left to fend for himself. In his heart, the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated the almighty Shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's death, and he, powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. Generation after generation bore this grudge, living in utter misery. Alas, if only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, the then head of this family reached the end of his wits. He could bear their fate no longer, and yet he could do nothing to change it. Finally, he made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden. In doing so, he sought to vent his pent-up anger and shake the very foundations of Inazuma's forging industry. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan, which he belonged to. His goal was absolute, the devastation of all of the Raiden Gokuden. But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares. They fought back fiercely, and they did not spare his life. That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day. I suppose they...
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? On to the next stop! Lead the...
Too slow.
Lanjut. Excellent connection.
You want
We're here!
Traveler, it's been a while. If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid
Are they out on
the Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the Commissioner's place. If it's urgent, you'll...
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But seeing as you're so close with the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato,
We'll be heading in then. Thanks!
Hello, dears. Is there some... Of course, traveler. What would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather As for the commissioner himself, well, you know, busy as ever. That
So pretty much business as usual on the Yashiro
very...
Well, got any more questions?
You're very welcome. Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so thrilled to... I must say, many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the better since you arrived here. Whenever the commissioner dines at home, Toma always joins him. I always find the commissioner has such a busy schedule that he doesn't always have the chance to take his meals at home. They say it's because Toma's a much better They get to talking about you sometimes too, you know. Always with a very fond tone. Miss Kamisato occasionally joins them as well.
Anjir, seiyunya gak enak banget anjir.
Gets together and they start talking.
Suara nenek-nenek. Anjir.
It's been
Seiyunya kurang.
since the late Mr. and Mrs. Kamisato.
Mrs. Kamisato.
As someone who is old and young enough to have watched
Ah no.
grow up, it makes me so happy to see them meet a dependable. So, in the future, if you ever do have the time, please know you
Aduh, gak enak banget didengar, Cok.
very welcome. Wonderful.
Paimon likes it here too! Also, ever since Paimon's itching to try it, we may just have to invite ourselves around for dinner sometime. Paimon meant we should come pay a visit again, real?
Of Of course.
Alright, goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry.
All right.
Alright.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep, everything.
Very well. Safe travel.
Very well. Let's go. Buruan, saya ingin menggacha Nona Kamisato Ayaka. Ya makanya kocak banget suaranya. Anjir. Biasanya ini loh, nggak nyangka. Pertama kali download ternyata langsung dub Amerika, anjir. Sespesial itukah dub Amerika?
Well, here we are. But,
Do my eyes deceive me, or is
Xavier, what are you doing?
I was in the general area, and now
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
certainly do. I've researched. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away. Like the back of my hand. Make no mistake, I have been here. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatarasuna years ago. They said it's all true. Oh, well, it's a long story, don't you know? The tale of Tatarasuna starts. I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation. Goes back around 1,000 years. Still, the furnace has had a couple of serious maintenance issues along the way.
A couple?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy to come and work on it either. There was a guy back then too. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the technological collaboration between our...
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about Tatarasuna?
Ini kan lagi tanya.
Didn't realize you two were here for a history.
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one today. Feels like we've been preparing for a history exam or something.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden burning desire for history?
Gairah untuk belajar sejarah pas bangun pagi tadi.
Sure, go ahead.
Apa kamu pernah dengar tentang Kabukimono?
A kabuki mono? I do know the word. Inazuman for those eccentric types who always go around dressed to the nines. Just the sort of, but sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything to do with a kabuki. Of course!
Oh, we're leaving?
Oh, you're most welcome. Farewell.
Farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but what's up with you today? Keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. Hey, alright.
Kita kembali lagi. Aduh, mau hujan juga, oh my gosh. Jam berapa sih anjir? Jam 4:30. Gila nih udah stream 1 jam 29 menit, 1 jam setengah belum kelar juga ya. Archon Quest. Lama juga Archon Quest.
Hey, it's them.
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment,
We have time.
It's the same topic we discussed last time.
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh?
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress. Huh? Oh,
I presume you'll want to read mine as well.
well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler, remember how last time
Masih lama. Oh my god.
Information about all this? Well, we just got back from Inazuma.
Serius?
So how about we tell them what we learned?
What did you find out? Something.
It's a long story. Basically, we have some.
Wow.
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the... Ugh. So there's no ghost story here?
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society those days, to the extent that harming them was conceived of, at least by the perpetrator.
Yes, okay.
And they're back at it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Look at us, prattling on.
You're welcome.
Keep us in the loop if you...
Will do.
Masih lama ini, serius.
Too slow.
Oh my god. Masa saya berhenti di tengah-tengah live stream? Aduh. Ada part 2 gitu. What the hell?
We're here.
Traveler, Paimon.
Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time.
The Balladeer?
Seperti yang kuduga.
Is... Traveler?
Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset.
Dia adalah boneka yang hidup di antara manusia. Kepercayaan terhadap kaum manusia dan
That's quite a story.
iya, belum ketemu Wawan ganti kostum.
So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul. Oh,
But how was he even able to?
as the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little different. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality.
So you believe this person really existed?
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. The Traveler comes from a world beyond to that. That's why there's no information about her in Irminsul. And it also explains why any change. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you.
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this ballad.
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died. Once the Balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatarasun. He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friends, the story makes sense. Every part of it. The Balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the Doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but retained the power. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase himself, even though he didn't have much strength left.
Yeah, it does make sense. It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but...
Please wait a moment. I found it. This should be the one.
Oh, what is this?
It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming. What is it? A record from a personal collection. You should take a look.
Is this a...
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote it?
When combined with the Traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory.
Hold on. So this record survived from the...
Yes. Any information about the Balladeer or the Kabuki Mono and other records will have been changed. But changing the information in Irminsul changes to but Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a
That's incredible!
And sending the Traveler into Irminsul with the Balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew this story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information, but if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one she told us.
Okay.
There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree who had been abandoned by the humans. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, they spoke words of comfort. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely..." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain, and the two promised they would spend their whole lives together. But the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing how it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they...
We solved it!
I remember now. This is not just the Balladeer story. It is to become a god. He was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and this memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend. Creating a deity was just the first first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That's why they backed up his memory. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us on more than one. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely vanished.
The balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and although he was unsuccessful before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail. That Conria was where your twin first came into this world. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own Harbinger.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around. But still, Paimon doesn't like the way it all...
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and we comprehend, but so the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own destiny. To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to act on his desire to Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is always there, guiding us toward a better destination. And that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Nihita's right. Cheer up. How about we go get something to eat?
Good idea. Paimon, why don't...
You got it. Come on, traveler. You need to get out of your head for...
Anjir, malah jalan-jalan dulu, the fuck.
One of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar. That'll be sure to lift our spirits. It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that. But Paimon's...
Oh no, masih lama sekali dan sudah mendung. Ngabuburit ini, drill ngabuburit, mainin Archon Quest ya guys ya. The wind rises.
Too slow.
Swan Fury.
What should we eat first? Hey, are you gonna answer or what? Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff... What is it? Have you... Why'd you jump up all of a...
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look, here.
Oh, akhirnya nih Balladeer version 2 nih.
Hey! Hey, wait!
You mean me?
No, not you. That kid. Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my... Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it? The work's too boring for you? Or is the...
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting. It can be hard.
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo.
You say you don't want any money for helping out here, and then when I actually give you some work to do, you keep, I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this, pretty soon I won't be able to afford—
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything. I'm just so thankful you agreed to take—
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look, we're all out of Sunsetias. And I promised the lady down the street I'd deliver a fruit bowl this evening.
Leave it to me. I'll find some more. Just a moment. I'll be right—
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, I got greedy. Couldn't believe my luck. But I figured you don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is—
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First, let me get those fruits you needed.
Hey, what do we do now? Okay, stay out of
Ini ada aku. Gila udah mau jam 5. Buru-buru banget ya conquest-nya. Berak lain kali abis taraweh lah.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Oh, all right.
This should be enough. Guess I should walk. Huh? You two over there. Is there something? You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice. Have we? No, we haven't met. But you know me? I have no recollection.
Are you absent?
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
A puppet?
Huh?
You were right. The look on his face.
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever it is must be important. Okay, but please let me deliver—
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want any more.
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm. And he let me take shelter in his cart. In return, I said—
That's oddly—
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you.
Then let's return to this.
Mode baik.
Quit following me. Behold. Squall and fury. Too slow. Here you go, boss.
Oh, you really went and picked—
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry.
I was just about to pay you anyway.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. Even then, but look, it was pouring down, and there you were, sauntering along without a care in the world, like you had nowhere to be, and imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right? But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it. Certainly not all this.
But I don't... No. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye. Thank you again.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years.
Thank you. All right, done. Thanks for waiting for me. Quit following me.
Quick, following me. Ayo, come on. Gua mau cari jajan, belum cari makan. Oh. Too slow.
The wind rises. fury.
What's wrong? Huh?
Hello. I do apologize.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything.
You say that you are trekking across Teyvat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves Shugenja.
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me. But these two claim that they know me. And that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... I don't like to rely on using terms like this often, but in your case, it seems that it ought to be called previous incarnation.
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes, something far more distant than the past.
Okay, I have to ask. Oh, hope you want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence in my previous incarnation. If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be just as difficult to hear, but I'll be able to handle it. Please, tell me the truth.
Is truth something you care a lot about?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you did many things that would be considered evil. You nearly died because of what other people did. And many died because of you. As a non-human being, you hated gods and humans alike. You drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You adamantly believed that you... Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes, you have to let parts of yourself go.
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history.
In terms of the outcome alone.
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time. A chain of cause and effect.
That is the need.
It seems like my previous incarnation was...
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but...
If we were enemies, why are you trying...
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's got so much to answer for, but we can't make him talk because he doesn't remember anything!
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust that everything you told me must be true.
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memories themselves.
Please, I want to see them for myself.
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world for me to cling to.
Very well.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's kind of on us for bringing...
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face...
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Oh, good point.
Understood.
Thank you.
Oh, masuk lagi ke Irminsul kah? Kayaknya udah dulu end streamnya sampai di sini aja. Ya intinya udah tahulah ceritanya. Karena waktunya mepet banget dan mau cerita kecil dulu. Thank you for watching. Thank you yang udah nonton juga. Makasih. Mau siap-siap buka, Aki. Bye-bye. Bye-bye juga, Rin. Aku juga mau end stream juga. Mau siap-siap juga. Thank you for watching.